Welcome back, gang, to another episode of The New Ham. My name's Scott, call sign W4OLV. Last week, I told you that we're going to talk about the contents of this bag, so stick around. In just a second, we're going to break it open, and I'm going to show you what's inside. Alright guys, thanks for sticking with me. We're going to jump right in and talk about this. This is the dual band roll-up antenna from countycom.com. I've owned this particular antenna for about a year. I actually have two of them. One I keep in a bag, and then this one I keep around the house to use whenever I feel like I want to extend the range of my handheld. Comes in an RPVC pouch. Really nice. It's, for the most part, I would say it's probably waterproof. It even has the RPVC over top of the zipper enclosure. The only thing I could see allowing water to get in is it does have cloth seams top and bottom, and maybe a little bit over here where the zipper doesn't quite get it closed all the way. But keep things dust-free, dirt-free, keeps most of the water out, especially if you've got this stuffed in a pack. Let's talk a little bit about what's in the pouch and what comes with this package. You get 25 feet of orange and black paracord. They give you a little accessory kit with a couple of adapters. You get 6 feet of additional feed line with BNC connectors on the end. You get a BNC to PL259 connector. And then you get one additional BNC style connector that will allow you to adapt to SMA male and female simply by taking that out or putting it in. That way you can, in this configuration, this would adapt to my Yaesu with the additional adapter piece in there would allow me to adapt to a Baofeng and a number of other radios as well. And then last but not least is the antenna itself. This is a half wave, basically J-pole cut into a piece of ladder line. And this particular piece of line is about 7 feet long. You get about 4 feet of antenna and an additional 3 feet of feed line for that. So what I want to do real quick before we jump into a lot of stuff here is just talk about antennas in general. So when we talked about antennas last week and we talked about HT accessories, I talked about antennas being like the number 3. It's one that maybe you want, but it may not be the first thing you want to jump to when you start talking about buying accessories. You may want to test out the antenna that came with your particular radio. And I keep a little rubber duck antenna in here as a backup, excuse me. So that just in case we need one, we've got one. But there is some limitation to any type of whip style antenna that you're going to put on your radio. Most of these are quarter wave. And the other part is when it comes to antennas, length and the height at which you can get antenna rule. And getting these antennas up at a, more than nominal height of 6 or 7 feet is fairly difficult to do unless you're just really going to rig up some type of adaptation for this. And then again, you're limited in the overall size of the antenna and it being quarter wave. And that being said, you can take this, again, we're looking at a full half wave antenna with 25 feet of paracord, an additional 6 feet of feed line. Just right off the bat, we can get this about 15 feet in the air, roughly. And that's if you're standing up. Now, if you're running this from a seated configuration, you're probably looking more at like 12, 13 feet. However, if you add additional feed line, which you can purchase from CountyComm, you can purchase additional 6 feet pieces of line, or you can make your own and adapt that so that it works with PL259. There's an additional adapter you would need, but you can do that. You could quite literally hoist this 25 or 30 feet in the air and then use a handy-talkie to transmit on it. Now let me tell you how effective that is. So I've used this again for about a year, and when I first purchased this, I lived in eastern Tennessee. I lived basically right smack in the middle of the Great Smoky Mountains. I was, for those of you who know the area, I was maybe 15-20 minutes away from the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area. So the terrain there can be challenging for ham radio because of all of the peaks and valleys and what's going on in that area as far as the mountains. This antenna helped me extend range from maybe 20 miles. I started hitting repeaters that were 50, 60, 70, 80, as much as 90 miles away. I hit a repeater in North Carolina using this and literally had it hung 10 feet outside of my garage. So great range extender. And the other part is not only is it a great range extender, but my signal was strong going into those other repeaters because I could get signal reports back at 5.8, 5.9. And that was using a Baofeng. I didn't have an FT3 or FT2 at the time. I simply had one of these little guys, and I hooked it up, gave it a try, and was very successful with it. And had a great time being able to talk on those repeaters. So let's jump over here real quick, and I just want to go over some of the specs so you have some of the technical specs of it. And again, we're looking at the dual band roll-up antenna. This is what they call the government pack. It is a Gen 2. One of the things that really catches my eye when I look at this is, of all the reviews, this thing has maintained a 5-star review status. It's priced at $59.95, but I'm going to tell you how to get the discount on that. It comes in 2 versions, ham and commercial. So if you're purchasing this for your ham radio, please make sure that you mark the appropriate one. And then we jump down here to some of the specs. Now for the ham model, of course, we're working at 144 to 148 megahertz and 440 to 450 megahertz. And then if you're looking at Fire commercial model, you're 152 to 157 and 460 to 470. We'll skip this next part here. That just talks about all the stuff I've already told you about that comes in the package. And then we look at the technical specifications underneath that. You're looking at a half-wave radiating element, of course, which is the ladder line J-pole. It does take 50 watts as its maximum power, so you're not only limited to using this for your handheld, you can connect this to a mobile transceiver. So if you're somebody who has a mobile transceiver in a camper or something like that, you can throw this out, hook it up. You've got a lightweight antenna system with little to no fuss. SWR, you're looking at less than 1.5 to 1 over 3 megahertz bandwidth, or less than 1.7 to 1 over 4 megahertz bandwidth, and 2.1 of dB gain. And of course, impedance on this is going to be your standard 50 ohms. In UHF, again, we're looking at max 50 watts. The only thing that really changes here is the SWR. You're looking at 1.3 to less than 1.3 to 1 over 6 megahertz bandwidth, and less than 1.5 to 1 over a 10 megahertz bandwidth. So really strong on the SWR side for a roll-up J-pole antenna. And being able to handle 50 watts gives you some flexibility there as well. Now the package that it comes in, the pouch and everything, you're looking at 7 3/4 inches by 8 3/4 inches, and you're looking at a weight of 10 ounces. So we're talking about a compact package that is lightweight. You can literally throw it in a backpack. You can put it in your truck, your car, your camper, wherever you might want to have something that can help you extend the range of your Hand It Talkie radio and keep it lightweight. Even a good option if maybe you're a camper and you've got a mobile radio in your truck, in your camper or whatever, and you want an antenna that you can put out externally and hoist up and get some extended range out of it. This is a fabulous option. Now, I told you that we could get this at a discounted price for you. I reached out to CountyComm to see what they could do for subscribers, and they graciously offered us a 15% discount using the discount code The New Ham. I'm going to post the link to this page, and I'm going to put a copy of the discount code down at the bottom. I encourage you to pick one of these up. You will not be disappointed, especially if you are an outdoorsman, camper, hunter, fisherman, somebody who spends a lot of time in areas that you need to extend your range or your coverage. Grab one of these. If you're somebody who is just getting into ham radio and maybe all you have is a Baofeng and you want to extend that range from the house, pick one of these up. You will not be disappointed. You will have a lot of fun hitting repeaters that you didn't even know were out there until you hook this thing up. Just want to extend a big thank you to CountyComm.com for providing the discount code for our viewers. I certainly do appreciate it. Guys, go over there, pick you up one of these antennas. In full disclosure, I'm not sponsored by CountyComm. I'm not getting any type of payment to promote the antenna. They strictly did this for my viewers just at my request, and I certainly do appreciate it. A big shout out also goes to the Smoking Ape YouTube channel. He was kind enough to share my channel with his community over there, and I want to do the same for him here on the New Ham. Do me a favor, go over there, check him out. He has some fabulous content. I've been a subscriber for a while. You won't be disappointed. Again, that's the Smoking Ape. Go check him out. Subscribe, like, share. Speaking of that, if you have not subscribed to the New Ham, hit that button down in the lower right. Also, like, share, comment, tell me what you want to see in the future, and we will see you next week.